Okay, so today I'll be doing a tutorial on this bracelet that I call the divided X's. Now, it's a with a 2-strand core, and with the core strands, I'm also going to use those same strands as the center of our weaving strands. So the core plus the center is going to equal about 10 feet for the white, 7 feet for this Tarheel blue, and there's going to be two of those, two 7-foot Tarheel blues that are going to go through the double cow's hitch up here. Also 7 feet of this charcoal gray, and 7 feet of this electric blue. Okay, the electric, everything goes through the double cow's hitch except for the electric blue will go through the top of the cow's hitch. Everything else goes through the cow's hitch here. Alright, let's begin. So, first thing we're going to do is flip all the colors up above, like that. Take the cow's hitch, the electric blue, go underneath and through the center, underneath and through the center. Now this weave is going to be basically an endless falls type weave. The only difference is that I like to have two cores going down the sides. It adds a little bit of different color on the sides, plus I think it keeps it a little more sturdy. It doesn't tend to stretch out at all or anything like that. So what these endless falls weaves do is when you have two core strands, all the weaves are going to go inside the two core strands, except for the two weaves you start with that cross each other are going to go on the outside of the core strands and up under through the center and to the other side. So what we're going to do is start with the center and work our way out. Center, we're going to go, and we're going to do, for the center weave is a I believe they call it a chain link or chain mail endless falls, which the first part of the weave is you go down through the center up to the inside of itself and back down. Then the second part is going to be on either side. We're going to do these Tarheel blues, and for the first one we're going to do down into the outside and down into the inside of itself. And on the other side, same thing. Down to the inside, down to the outside. Like that. And all we have left is our charcoal. With the charcoal, the whole way down, we're just going to go down and to the outside of itself. So this side will go down and to the outside of itself, like that. And then you start tightening everything up. And you might want to kind of push it up. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so for tightening, all you do is just grab each cord one by one and pull down on it. And then the two side cords, your first cord that you weave, pull to the side of it. And it's nice and snug then. Okay, so then go and flip all of these back up. Get them out of the way. Start with your first cord again. Okay. Start in the center. Since the first time we went down and on the inside of themselves, since it's the chainmail weave, we're going to go down into the outside of itself for the next part of the weave. And for that, you'll just keep switching back and forth, inside to outside, inside to outside. Okay? Now, for the side, the part of the weave that is, I believe they call it maybe a marginal X endless falls, but that's what we're going to be doing on the sides of the chainmail. So what you want to do is first take one side and bring it across to the other side and down to the inside of itself. The next one you take across to the other side, down to the inside of itself. So they're crossing over each other and coming up through the inside of themselves. Okay, like that. So go to the other side, do the same thing, and we're going to go across into the inside of itself, and cross over that one and to the inside of itself, like that. Okay, so now we've got the marginal X endless falls part done. Then we're going to do the outsides, and they are always down and to the outside of themselves. Down and again to the outside of itself. Okay, so we tighten up little by little. Go. There you see we have a couple of the marginal falls X's there, and we'll be starting the chainmail down the center. And I believe the outside weave is just called the endless falls type weave. Now, I learned a while ago a good way to check your weave and make sure that it is actually coming out consistent and even and all that, is every once in a while flip your bracelet over and look at the bottom side. Make sure that the spacing between each cord is all even. Make sure no cords are crossing over each other. With these endless falls, if you just look at the back side, you're gonna notice if you've made accidentally any mistakes, because sometimes you won't see it on the front side, but when you finish, you'll end up noticing it, and you'll be like, man, why didn't I notice that way back in the beginning when I made the mistake? Always look at the bottom side. I look at it every, I don't know, 3 or 4 weaves. That way if I catch something, I don't have to go back and unweave it so far. So that's my tip to you guys, and when I learned it, it's very valuable. So let's go again. Now we're back to the first step, crossing the first cords underneath up through the center. Start in the middle. This time, since last time we went up or down into the outside, we're going to go down into the inside. Then, since we did the cross the last time on these outside ones, now we're just going to go down into the outside. Last time we crossed them and went to the inside. This time we're just going to go straight down into the outside. Straight down to the outside. And the weave is always the same for the very last one, down into the outside. Down into the outside. There we go. See how it's all coming together now? Alright. Well, keep doing those steps, and I'll be back to you guys. Okay, so now that I'm getting down towards the end, I want to, flip it over, make sure everything looks consistent. No cords are crossing each other. All the cords are evenly spaced. Looks pretty consistent to me. We have our chain link going down the center, the 2 marginal X's going down the side of the chain link, and on the very outside, the endless falls. And here's the reason that I like running the core strands on any endless falls bracelet, is you get that secondary color, which in this one is white on the sides. If you didn't have that, you obviously wouldn't have the white, but also you'd barely see the blue. You'd only see the blue if you're looking at it from the side. the core strands actually cause the blue to stick out from the sides a little bit. So do it looks like 1 or 2 more passes for the center. And may have to put some fids on the end of each strand for the next pass, because it's getting kind of tight weaving them through. Another thing I'd like you to recognize is that on these X's on the sides, if you look on each side, see the X's, the top line going across is all going the same direction. So make sure when you're doing your X's, you lay the first one down going the same direction each time, and then the second one over going the same direction each time. Same thing on both sides. I like them on this one to be going opposite of each other, so both of them are going down and towards the center. You can have them to where they're both going down and to the right or down to the left, but it looks good if they're always consistent, going the same direction on whatever side you pick. You know, you don't want it to go down into the center and then this next one going down into the outside on the top. It just looks funky. Trust me, I've had it done before. So on this right side, going down into the center is what I want my top cord to be doing. So the bottom cord is going to go down into the outside. And then the top cord here will be going towards the inside. Yeah, definitely going to need fids on the next pass, because this is getting kind of tight to fit your cords through here. Okay. Man, I almost need fids on this one. Alright. There we go. Okay, check back. All looks well. I don't know if you can see, but this one here looks a little loose. So that's the outside there. So you tighten that one, make sure it's just as tight as all the others. There, now it looks about the same as everything else. You'll see one of the cords, if you didn't tighten it enough or as much as the other ones, it'll be bulging out a little bit more than the others. So as long as all the cords are the same size, equal distance from each other, your bracelet should look beautiful. Alright, this will probably be the very last pass. And what I'm definitely going to need to do on this one is bust out the fids. So luckily, I have got plenty of fids. Probably won't need to do any fids on the white cords, since they're the very first cords we weave through, so there's going to be plenty of room. But after you weave those cords, it starts to get kind of tight fit to put everything through there. So here we go. Up to the center, up to the center, down and up to the inside, and I almost do need them. Need the fids for this one. No, got it. Down to the inside. All right. Let's see, we did the X on the last pass. So these are just going to go down and straight up, straight down, straight up. Straight down. Straight up. Straight down. And out to the outside. Same on this side. Now it's going to get real tight here. Oh. Okay, now, since on this endless falls, everything seems to, all the cords seem to end each pass on the top, so you don't want to cut and singe them on the top. It looks very ugly. So what I do is I just go and tuck them into the cow's hitches on the other side. Whatever side they're on, just weave them through that side's cow hitch, and then they'll be underneath the bracelet, and from that point you can snip and singe them, find somewhere to tuck them if you can. These endless falls style bracelets, I find that they're kind of hard to tuck away into the weave. Now these center cords here, between the cow's hitches there will be a cord connecting the two cow's hitches. I like to just feed these cords through that very center cord. Go. That. And actually at this point you can just take it off the jig. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Jig's kind of getting in the way at this point. Go. Yeah. Like that. Looks good to me. And take our scissors. Like that. It looks like I have extra. Yeah, it looks like the light blue for the marginal X's was about good length. Same thing with the dark blue, barely have anything left. For the white and the charcoal, we've got about 2 feet extra so of each, so you can I don't know, comfortably take an extra foot off of each one. And for finishing it up, I like to melt it and then mash down the melted ends with this. Kind of gives it a little texture, same kind of texture that the cord is. I'll go like that. Do the other side. And then the side cords. So, there we go. Not bad. I love this design. And this is for about an 8-inch wrist. Alright, thank you very much.